Welcome to Now You're Playing with Podcast, episode 23. Chris listens to a lot of different podcasts, and as a result, he stumbled across comedian Mike Lawrence. Through either Mike's Nerd of Mouth podcast or one that he was a guest on, Chris heard him talking about growing up with Sega consoles. Chris checked out some of his shows and chatted with him a bit, and then Mike ended up finding our podcast and filling out his top 25 games list. Chris was able to set up an interview with Mike so we could talk to him after a show in Cleveland at the beginning of the month. And since several of Mike's games didn't make the top 100 list, Chris brought a TV, a Genesis, and a PlayStation, so if we had enough time, we could play some of the games he picked that were his favorites. So Chris, Becky, and I went up to Cleveland and saw a show, which was absolutely hilarious, and chatted with him afterwards to finalize the details for the interview. We arranged to meet Mike at the Hyatt the next day for a 30-minute interview since he had some other commitments. I had hoped that we could pay to rent a conference room or something just for an hour that we could set up our TV and our podcasting gear. Popped into the Hyatt and chatted with the gal at the front desk, and she said that all the rooms were booked, but we could set up in the bar since it didn't open until 4 p.m. There was only one person in that area at the time, and he said he'd be leaving soon, so it wouldn't bother him if we recorded a show, and so we set up all the gear to get set to start recording. The reason I'm going into all this detail is for a couple of reasons. One, things are a little bit rushed in this one because we wanted to be respectful of Mike's other commitments, which we later found out was personal plans that he delayed so he could have the interview with us. And also, he stayed later than he was originally planning to, which was really cool. But also because we created a little bit of a commotion with the staff who really didn't understand what was going on. We had several visits by the Hyatt staff, and luckily one of the first ones was a really nice supervisor who said it was fine if we continued to record and everything, and was really nice enough to stand guard at the entrance of the bar, and as a result deflected 2 other managers and 3 visits by security guards. And to be completely honest, if he hadn't have been there, we probably would have been asked to stop. We would have had to pack everything up and go. But as a result, we got to spend an awesome 40 minutes with Mike, and he also signed a CD for a giveaway. So give this episode a like on Facebook for a chance to win an autographed copy of Mike's new CD, Sadamantium. And one last thing before we start. Mike's comedy is a little off-color, so this episode is going to be a little more offensive than our normal ones. So if you're listening at work or near kids, you might want to delay this one until later. But I think I've rambled enough. Enjoy the show.
Now you're playing with podcast.
All right, ready when you are.
Hi, we're here with Mike Lawrence. He's awesome. He beat on our show after a good show last night here in Cleveland. We're figure instead of talking about shitty things, which he typically does on his shows, we'll talk about stuff he actually likes and see if he needs hate to feel alive. So we had a top 101 list, and he was nice enough to fill out a survey, and we'll just talk about the games that he put that aren't on our list, starting with Rampart number 118.
I love that game.
I never played it. I mean, it looks like a tower defense with Tetris or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's perfect.
Is it?
It's violent Tetris.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I played it with my dad a lot and stuff, and it was just it's really fun. It's what old video games, why we still love them, that they're simple, but complex. They get harder.
It's that
and there's layers to it. Yeah.
It's the whole easy to learn but difficult to master kind of situation.
Yeah, it's like when Billy Mitchell gets really angry. He's playing Rampart.
So did you have friends over to play it, or just
Oh no!
your dad?
If I did, I wouldn't have to play Rampart.
Okay.
No.
I used to play with my idiot brother all the time.
Yeah, I would play with my brother sometimes. It was definitely more of a dad game.
That's awesome.
That beats golf. My dad and I play golf a lot. I can't stand golf, but with dad,
This is better. Imagine if you're on the golf course and then cannons shoot at you, and it's just a really bad audio chip going ready fire.
I love that shit. I love those crappy audio samples.
Fire.
Yeah, it's great.
It's fantastic.
Sega.
That's awesome.
That's the other thing. You're a Genesis kid. I mean, if you hang out in this community, it's a lot of Nintendo people.
They're
that love
queers. No.
Yeah.
Get your mouth off Miyamoto's dick.
And did you have an older brother made that decision, or who made that choice?
No, it's just that here's what it really was. So my mom, she bought the Super Nintendo, and we would go over there, but she wouldn't really play it with us. And my dad bought the Genesis, and he would play it with us. So we liked the Genesis more.
Nice.
And I just think that some of the games were better, Toe Jam and Earl was fantastic. The first time I ever played a Genesis, remember back in the day you can rent a video game system?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did that, and the first game that we got was Toe Jam and Earl.
Bitchin'.
But even before that, I remember going to my mom's friend's house at the Super Bowl, and her son had Sonic the Hedgehog. And that
Nice.
Sega,
Yeah.
like that blew my mind.
Yeah.
Even before the game started.
Yeah. Because my cousin had one, so I was like, I got that taste every once in a while, and he had one before Sonic came out, so it was all those like Altered Beast and Strider and all those weird ass games at the time they tried to be like the first attempt at being adult. So
Super Nintendo, remember like Mortal Kombat, theirs didn't have blood. It always seemed like the wimpier system.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
And the sound card was weaker, so like it could do orchestrated stuff really well, but it couldn't like pull out like a nice, like a guitar.
Well,
or rock
it was
sound.
more colorful, but it wasn't as gritty.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Another RoboCop vs. Terminator was way more fun for the Genesis. That blood.
Well, you had X-Men games on the Genesis too.
Yeah, that was the first game. When we bought the Genesis, we bought it with X-Men.
Bitchin'.
And that was before the cartoon too, wasn't it? So it was still.
No, it was around the time.
But it had people that weren't. Because I'm not a comic book guy, so I only knew about X-Men.
I
Once
want to
the
say that
comic
X-Men
books.
game came out in '93, and the cartoon was '92.
It was earlier, but yeah.
I think it wasn't based on it. Capcom did
No.
one that was much more closer to.
Then they had that arcade game too, but that's totally something different.
that was based on Pride of the X-Men.
Yes.
Yeah.
Failed pilot.
Yes.
They go to
Wolverine was
Yeah,
Australian.
exactly.
And they had Dazzler in it.
They,
yeah.
they go to MagFest every year, and I guess that's a thing that everybody does to each other.
That's
the
the
Colossus.
calling card of
Oh, yeah.
MagFest.
Yeah,
is
'cause,
the-
like-
They even
Yeah.
got Yuzo Koshiro to do it, the guy that wrote the music for Streets of Rage.
yeah.
So
That's lovely.
I'm glad you said the name, and I didn't go. But of course, Yuzo Koshiro.
I'm glad.
Yes, of course.
I'm glad that I can out nerd you on something and not seem like a total
All
outcast on
Japanese
this.
names sound the same.
Yeah, they all. Well, let's talk about Toe Jam and Earl because you picked that one too, and that ended up being like 174 on our list.
Yeah, your list is a bunch of shit. There are
Hey,
173 games better than.
Our-
Let me guess, Earthbound is one of them because you used to jerk
yeah,
to it. Go fuck yourselves.
yeah. But that's why we're doing this show because we want to do the cool shit that people didn't pick. It's we were talking about
What
earlier.
was number one?
Well, it's a spoiler, so
Spoilers.
But then cannons. That's God.
But-
I'm gonna guess. I'm pretty sure the Zelda was up there,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's. I mean, they're great games, but Toe Jam and Earl.
Toe Jam and
It
Earl.
has
so-
flavor.
It's
yeah.
a roguelike.
It's a roguelike. That was I just realized that this morning. Like the first computer game, Toe Jam and Earl's like the funky, cool American
hip.
Sega Genesis
Good
roguelike.
soundtrack.
Just random levels and
Yep.
cool shit. And
What's Road like?
Rogue was this like computer game before there were computers, like the mainframes. It was just ASCII graphics of randomly generated dungeons because back then it was all D&D nerds that made this shit. So it was the first, like, look at me, I can be a warrior in a dungeon type of thing.
I'm a
They
W
passed it
one, and
around
that makes
on
me a warrior.
punch cards and
Yeah.
the pre-internet
Well, the
DARPANET.
W definitely doesn't stand for winner.
Yeah,
Let's be honest there.
but that's what they call those randomly generated dungeon games now, are roguelikes. So that's that.
But that had flavor. That was unique
Yeah.
among, because you could play like the I'm a warrior, or you could play like I'm a three-legged alien.
Yeah, you go to Hawaii and
Sneakers,
stuff. And
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on, the Hula Hula Girls probably was one of your prepubescent.
the thing about video game, whenever people put these like way older games, it's like Pong on there.
I think we did throw
Or
Pong.
Space
towards the
Invaders.
end.
Space Invaders is
Space
yeah.
Invaders definitely
Yeah,
was.
but there's so many. You have the technology, but then people made it better. Like
Right.
Miss Pac-Man is way better than Pac-Man.
Yeah, I agree.
It just is.
Yeah, and
you know?
that's the same technology too. So that's not even. But
And you hit a lot with these lists where, like, people's nostalgia, kind of weighs higher than, like, like if a sequel is better than the previous version and whatnot. Because a lot of
Yeah.
times, because, like, growing up, we had it, like, at our daycare center, one of the kids who was there was like, his dad was in the police force, and so we got, like, a Pac-Man machine from a police auction. So, like, every day we would just, spend forever playing Pac-Man. And, I hardly got to play Miss Pac-Man growing up. And
yeah, but Toe Jam and Earl's fucking great. That almost beat out Sonic as like the mascot game, but last minute they changed. I think probably rightfully so, but they're kind of 1 and 2 in my book.
Yeah, I mean, Well, definitely you're gonna have like a more of a platformer go up against a platformer, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
There's just so much like heart and character in Toe Jam, though. Like the
Yeah.
characters were unique, the environment was unique, the art
The
style was
booklet,
fantastic.
the booklet is so good. The way that they describe all the enemies and stuff.
The
You know that, and I know you brought Eternal Champions. That booklet is what? It's like 80 pages.
I never looked at that because I always.
Oh, it's
Booklet.
incredible. Can we see it? Can
Yeah,
I,
yeah. Go ahead and get
Can I
out.
read you an entry?
Yeah, please.
Please, go ahead.
Dramatic, please.
Okay, so Eternal Champions,
Hopefully
which
it's in
I'm
there.
sure wasn't on your list either.
Yeah, that's why I brought it.
Yeah. Ugh.
See, well, I'm glad that we turned this into a hate fest because I think you do shine the most when you're angry.
Yeah,
You're very
well.
Hulk.
But you're allowed to love something and be upset that other people don't.
So
feel it.
so the Eternal Champions. Let's see here. Oh, the book is actually 64 pages.
Yeah, but still, it's a
Fucking
book.
64. The N64's got to come into every conversation. doesn't it?
Yeah. No, I was referring to the Jaguar.
Do the math, bitch.
See, hate. So for instance, they have these character biographies in here, right? And so it's fighters and fighting style biography.
And what does that
So
say
there's-
in what is that symbol?
So
say?
this is they have this like whole long paragraph about the characters.
That is so
And
Liefeldian.
then they also describe their fighting styles.
Right. So who's your
Are there-
favorite?
is
in
there
this?
blood types in there?
My favorite was always Trident. Now the point of this game, Eternal Champions, was they were all different characters throughout history, and they were all very beneficial people who were trying to do good in the world, and they got killed.
Right.
So if you win the game, you get to be one of them. You get to come back and have a second chance at life and finish what you were supposed to do. So let's read one of these
Let's.
biographies. I'll read the one for Trident. Let's do that.
Means three
So this
teeth.
is Trident's biography. He's got a trident for a hand, and his name is Trident. So Trident, so named because of the trident which replaced the hand he lost in battle with the shark. Already
Captain
fucking
Hook.
way better than any Street Fighter character. No, Hook was a crocodile. Was genetically engineered to be a gladiator. The people of Atlantis during his time lived above the water. They competed with the Romans to see which race would control the Earth's surface and which would be plunged into the ocean's depths. You've already created a whole world in 3 sentences. The Atlanteans spent their time in the pursuit of science while the Romans worked at perfecting the art of war.
Fuckers.
The Atlanteans built great enclosed environments that would support life in the watery depths of the ocean and created a compromise that would allow both races to live above the water as well as below. The Romans would have no part of it, but agreed to settle the dispute with a fight. The victor's race would remain on land while the loser's race would sink into the depths of the ocean. The Atlanteans reluctantly agreed to the battle. They created Trident to save them from the fate that awaited them. The Romans rigged the fight and crushed Trident beneath the large stone pillar. Due to his loss, the Atlanteans had no choice but to assemble in their environments and face the cold waters that awaited them.
Oh, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
A whole race just gave up because one guy lost.
Yes. Now, if you win as Trident, then what ends up happening is the Atlanteans and the humans get together and make a much better society. There's a
Aw.
caveman in here named Slash who's trying to bring agriculture to the cavemen, and they stone him to death. There's a Russian gymnast named Jeddah who's trying to help end the Boxer Rebellion.
Like, this is really thought out.
Yeah, there's Midnight, and he is a vampire type character who fights in Vietnam.
What?
Of course.
Yes.
They did a Sega CD version. Did they put like FMVs for this shit too? Like
Yeah.
Oh,
horrible movies about these
dear.
storylines?
Did you ever play the Sega CD version?
No, I did not.
They're so I don't know if you remember the at that time like the violent games were just coming out. The ASRB.
Oh, and
hadn't
this
really
had I know
formed,
this had
and-
like all sorts of like overkills and fatalities and stuff.
So, like, Senator Lieberman was one of the big ones who was trying to, like, rip violence out of video games.
Yeah.
And
Stand-up
they
guy,
put in
right?
a character called Sin Lieb, and the Eternal Champions one, like, based off of him, and made him, like, incredibly violent and everything. It was hilarious. It was, like, a complete jab, like, right to everything he was doing.
Oh,
Which he never found out about, so no one won.
So here's an interesting one. Hercules on the PlayStation, based off the movie.
No, it's not based off the movie.
You doing
the
that
animated movie, right?
Is it the animated movie or is it the LucasArts one?
The LucasArts one.
Oh yeah.
That one.
Oh, so I picked the totally wrong fucking game. Oh well.
That one's wonderful. It's
I
on
love
the
it.
It's on the PlayStation. It's on the Saturn, and oh my god, that's wonderful.
It's beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, like the art
And it
style
kind
on
of
it is
reminded
great.
me of Toe Jam and Earl because you can kind of just walk around and stuff. I would always play as the archer because the other two characters were just way too close-up attack based, and it was a lot harder, but she was awesome.
Range is good.
Yeah, this game is really fun. The designs are really fun.
Those are hard to find.
Hera's
now.
just a really fat woman that sits on a chair, but her body fills up the chair. I love that game.
Huh. I got the totally wrong. I was thinking you were a Disney fan, so I picked that one up.
No.
No.
Oh, dude.
I'm sorry.
No, that game is amazing.
I fail.
It's hard to find now. Those are actually like high dollar games, and it's sad because they were great, and I don't know that they were on anything else. Like I
Fucking
don't know
game
those-
collectors.
Yeah.
Those people that have every game for the Saturn for no reason. Oh wait.
We have it for the Saturn, and
Oh.
it's good.
What else is on here that's cool? Well, I mean, you
Ultimate
put a
Alliance.
couple comic book games, Marvel Ultimate Alliance and Hulk Ultimate Destruction, and lots
Is
of
that the
Ultimates.
PS2 one?
Yeah.
The Ultimate Destruction. I
That
haven't-
game's great. It's really super fun. And I don't like the Hulk as much as I like that game.
Really?
He's one of my least favorite characters, but it's such a fun game.
They strip away the
Just
bullshit. I take it.
Rampage all over the
Yeah,
place.
exactly.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. And the fights are fun. It's you like with the military comes in and it escalates. It's super exciting.
Fantastic.
We also got Ultimate Alliance on here, and that's kind of like the X-Men Legends sort of RPG-ish.
Yeah.
Well, and is that the Ultimate? That was the Marvel Ultimates.
Yeah.
So it wasn't actually.
It's
like,
X-Men Legends, but with more of the traditional superheroes.
Okay.
So I mean, kind of was it? I never really played those. Is that more of a mission based?
Yeah, it's like Diablo,
Oh,
but
Diablo.
you don't actually get to fight Diablo, who is a pretty lame Fantastic Four villain.
Oh yeah.
Do you need items in those games, or what do you collect to get?
Yeah, you collect stuff, yeah. And you build up your characters, they're fun.
And
How
not
many
everybody's
hours do you
warrior.
sink into one of these types of games?
Like 20, 25.
Oh, so you don't obsess and like 100% everything. And,
Oh, I'm never one of those guys.
yeah.
That's like the Arkham games, which I absolutely love. I'm not going to get every Riddler trophy. You know what I ended up starting doing, and this was like thanks to the internet. Like with Eternal Champions, the final boss is so hard in it. I had to look up the endings like 10 years later, and it gave me like this wish fulfillment, because a lot of the games back then were tough. Even now, finding all 400 Riddler trophies, fuck that.
They make
I go
make
to
the games easy
YouTube
now.
and I just type in completed 400 Riddler trophies and I watch the sequence. I don't need to do it.
They just make them easy, but then just so much work you have to put into it now. Like
It's genuine work though.
I'm playing Lego City Undercover, and it's like Grand Theft Auto, but you're a good guy. But it's worse because when you carjack cars as a cop, they make it seem like it's legal. Whereas Grand Theft Auto, they let you know you're actually committing a crime. But
cops always commit crimes.
yeah,
the other way
right,
with it, though.
exactly.
So,
All
Lego City is trying to teach you that absolute power corrupts absolutely.
yeah, exactly.
In Lego form.
in Lego form with Shawshank Redemption references. But
yeah.
You either start building or start dying.
Yeah, that's.
it's cute. I like it, but it's just still
Is
it's
there
so much.
Lego Morgan Freeman? Are there actually like little Lego pieces?
His
as
name
the
is
liver
blue
spots?
instead of red, and all the characters in Legoland are yellow, so there are no. It's color blind, I guess.
that's
but
adorable.
It's pretty good, but you have to buy a Wii U to play it.
Marvel game too.
Yeah.
They're fun, silly.
But they're so easy. But to make up
those
for
are-
being easy,
those Lego games are boring to me.
That's
like
the
I
thing,
tried
it's-
playing Lego Batman, and it was just like that they don't have any of the voices. They make those little cutesy sounds. I get who it's for, and it's a cool way to get kids into Batman, but you're not. There aren't any storylines or anything, so I don't
Right.
really care.
it's they're so easy. They just make you work to get everything. It's just got to put in your hours basically, and it's kind of like clocking in.
And there's like a lot of good in jokes and cameos and things like that, but you've got to just work through so much. It's it's
not
almost
worth
like
it.
worth it. You just go to YouTube and find the
Yeah,
find the
when
best
I
parts.
play video games, like when I play them maybe 2 hours at the most.
Yeah.
I come home and I play after a night of shows. I don't want to work.
So you still-
I don't think there should ever be unlockables. I think it's one of the worst ideas, and it's fucking disgusting. If I spend $60 on a game, just give me
That's
everything.
disgusting in and itself, but that's the
Yeah.
$60 video game for a piece of plastic. There's no manufacturing involved.
There's no books.
They're not even
There's
putting
no
books in
manuals
anymore.
No.
It's sorry, we're getting negative again. Damn it, us. So what about Bart's Nightmare? Is that your only Simpsons pick or
And
your favorite Simpsons game?
Yeah, it's my favorite Simpsons game. I remember playing the Space Mutants one and how hard that was. Krusty's Funhouse was kind of cool. The arcade game, for what it was good.
Turtles.
Yeah. I definitely remember Bart's Nightmare. I played it for the Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
That was a mom's house game. That was a rental.
Oh.
And
Did you ever? That one was hard. You didn't end up beating that one because
No.
I tried this one again and I couldn't get I got one piece of homework paper.
Yeah, the Grift of the Maggie was a really tough level.
Yeah, and like I was doing the shooter level with the radioactive man bit, and it just kept going and going and going and going.
Marge was Mothra.
Yeah, there's the Godzilla stuff in there.
I think though that's kind of most back when Bart was the star. That's kind of
Oh, yeah. The show got so much better when they realized that Homer should be.
kind of weird as that there was. And we don't need to talk about the politics of stupid dads.
Okay, wait. Mega Man X4, is that the one with Duff McWhalen?
No,
Okay.
it is not. Though I love Duff McWhalen.
They're so ridiculous. They're all named after rock stars.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's silly.
I think that might be 5 or 6.
Okay.
4 has like the spider and the slash guy.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
So had you played any of the other X games?
Oh yeah, definitely. But that was the one that I played the most.
Okay.
I mean, I love Mega Man 2 also, but that dragon so hard.
We'll see if you were a rich kid and could get the NES Advantage. If you had Turbo, you could just kick the shit out of him in like 5 seconds. That was
Well, it
unfair.
wasn't. So
No, right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like
poor people are still chased
Yeah,
by their dragons. Rich people get to conquer them.
Exactly. I see on here a Beyond Oasis. Did you finish that one?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
that was a lot of fun.
like a Zelda-like game, but a little more mature-like and.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the thing with video games too is that the whole greatest and worst and all that is all relative because it really
Absolutely.
is whatever games you rented or whatever games you bought or you played.
That's what we kind of did the survey like this. Is like there was no. It doesn't have. You can put whatever criteria you want. You can make it historical. You can make it personal. You can do whatever you want. So I'm glad that your list is like this because these are better than talking about Final Fantasy for 17 hours.
But then I could never get into turn-based games. It just I'm so impatient.
Yeah.
It just bother. And I still I hate waiting to get up on stage and all that. I don't want to have to just sit there and take some shit from a goblin.
Cut scenes annoy the shit out of you. Modern stuff.
Yeah, but it's just all boring.
Right.
I like the adventure games, the RPGs where I don't think there should ever be a video game where if you are good enough, you should be able to walk out unscathed. You shouldn't just had to stand there and get hit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a test of skill.
Bullshit.
Fuckers.
You're just my dad used to play Ultima a lot. And you
wow.
would just
That's
you would just
hardcore.
walk through
Yeah, that
the
was-
forest and there's another encounter. And you don't even see it coming, and you're just like, this crap again.
Have you ever played any of the Metal Gear games, like the Metal Gear Solid?
That was man, I tried playing Metal Gear Solid 2 and I was done. It was like an hour before you actually get to do anything. I don't have the time for that. I just played BioShock Infinite and that was really good and really fun. But it was testing my patience some of the time.
The crazy thing about Metal Gear, just a real quick quip, is that Hideo Kojima, who made that game, they had released a PlayStation in Japan that had a CD burner in it, so it was like a DVR. And he was talking about how he wanted to make a version of Metal Gear that was on a burnable disc, that if you died, it destroyed the disc and your game was over. So it was literally like you had a one-life playthrough
He's
on it.
batshit
And-
insane, though.
Oh, I know. It's nuts. It's like these
But those games, what's the point of that? You got to just sit there the whole time. And
Yeah, but end up being
here's
hits.
another, and I'm gonna get hateful a second here.
No,
but,
that's your forte.
Here's one of the no, it's don't.
Oh,
put me in a
sorry.
box. Don't no. I love things too.
Okay, I'm sorry. God.
You know, I escaped a shitty life to do something I love. There's positivity there. No, but like voice acting in video games is usually so bad and so cheap that they don't have the talent to have you sit there for 30 minutes and watch you listen. Like it's always a fun thing when you go to the movies and you know when they're showing commercials before even the trailers, and they'll always show a video game commercial. And it'll look cool at first, and everyone's kind of into it. But the second some cheap-ass Canadian voice actor comes out, it immediately takes you out. And, you know, it's like there's just this cheapness to it a lot of the time. Like and I love, like, voice acting is a beautiful thing. Like I love like the Justice League cartoons and all that. But God damn it, sometimes a Phil Lamar performance will make it hard for me to be able to show it to someone and say, this is transcendent. Nope, it's grounded in Phil Lamar's voice work. You know, especially when they always in cartoons and in video games too, when they do the legal thing where you can voice up to 3 characters and not have to be paid any more money.
Oh wow!
So
really?
they'll always have like the same guy doing 2 or 3 voices,
And
but
you
you can
know.
tell. Oh, and it's cheap.
Like Charlie Adler's that way for me. Like anything Charlie Adlerson just rips me out of whatever I'm watching, and
It's always
Kevin
Buster
Michael
fucking-
Richardson, and I love the guy. He was in Homeboys in Outer Space, but when Phil Lamar isn't the black guy in something, he is, and you could always tell. And it's just there's just like a cheapness to it. Even sometimes, you know, a lot of the comic book games, you know, when they don't get Kevin Conroy, you know,
Yep.
like in the second, I love Arkham City, but in the second one, it was, I think Arlene Sorkin just didn't want to do it, but they got Tara Strong. It's just not the same. Or
Right.
I want to say it was Nolan North did the Penguin, but he did like a Cockney accent.
what? Really? Are you serious?
Yeah,
Wasn't he supposed to be? I don't. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Weird.
yeah.
So next game.
Well, what
Yeah,
about
God
North
of
and
War?
South for the
Oh, yeah.
for the Nintendo?
Oh, it's super fun. That's another dad game. My dad's a big Civil War buff, but we played it all the time. And I was able to find like an NES emulator, and I played it on my computer a lot the past couple of years. It's really addictive. It's too different. It's like a platform game at points, but then it's also
it's not like
tower
a serious
defense
war
type,
simulation. It's kind of comic, like cartoony, and
and it's really fun.
it's kind of weird that never. That there's a lot of strange games on the NES like that, like Archon. Is that what that's called? Archon, that chess game, but there's
Oh,
like
yeah.
action in it, and Mule's another one.
I think I played that chess game. I remember there was a chess game where you would beat each other up.
Yeah, there was battle
Like
chess,
battle
and then
chess.
there
I
was,
think that's the
yeah,
one.
and that was just
Battle
regular
chess.
chess, just with oh look, you decapitate that guy. That was one of those look at what my computer can do game from the rich kid down the street. What else is on here? That
God of War.
God of War, Mortal Kombat. I mean, these are the Symphony of the Night, Sonic, Mario Kart.
Those are all on the list, right?
Yeah. These are the ones that up here made the top 100. How about Tekken 2? Why 2 and not 7 or Tag or?
This is the one I played.
Oh yeah,
that's all.
That's all.
Yeah, I got a PS1,
Right.
and I got Battle Arena Toshinden.
Oh man.
And
sorry.
Tekken 2. And there you go.
Did
I picked the one that didn't have booby whips.
Oh
So,
no.
A lot of fighting games had booby whips.
They had a lot of girls in that game though, didn't they? Like still like there
There
was
was a couple, yeah.
yeah, just the typical like tee type chicks.
I love fighting games.
Yeah.
Didn't they have a bear in those or a kangaroo?
Oh,
or
in,
some
Tekken, yeah.
animal, something. I
Yeah,
did like
Kuma was the
those.
bear. And Roger, I think, was the kangaroo, and then Alex was the raptor.
Oh,
They
nice.
Had like a
That's
rap-
a wonderful name, like a very dignified name for a raptor.
Yeah, I'm Alex.
Hi.
I'm still putting out hope that they do a car insurance mascot fighting game one of these days, like all those Geico fuckers and Norm Macdonald and
Yeah.
a bunch of all these other
Yeah, I
people.
hope it's as good as the Noid game or
Yeah.
Cool Spawn or Chester
We
Cheetah
forgot about
game.
Noid. That's got to be on our bracket.
Yeah. We're probably gonna do like a bracket of terrible mascots one of these days with all those.
Just weird shitty game. Do you ever
Bubsy
play the
Bobcat.
Home Improvement game? How was that?
Those are the ones you rent on a weekend. It's like your weekend's ruined. I guess I have to go outside.
I just wanted the last boss to be Al Borland. Just, you always made fun of my mom, and I actually took it personally.
Survey
God.
says.
Yeah. Corn.
Nice.
What else is any other good ones before we try out a little CNC Music Factory here?
That or a good game.
What do you want? A good game or a bad game?
Let's do a good game.
Let's do a good game. What do you want to throw in there?
Let's play Rampart.
While he's getting that set up, I do have a question for you because there's like I had both a Genesis and a Super Nintendo growing up, so I kind of like lived in both worlds. But like so much of the fan base is so Nintendo based right now, and it's easy to ask.
I was
someone
still waiting for you to call yourself a day walker.
No, but as someone
He's
who
like, I didn't walk much, and I wasn't really out in the daytime. So Go on.
what were some of your favorite Super Nintendo games? Being someone who was like always really focused on the Genesis and played. The Genesis
I mean,
the
Super
most
Mario World is really a great game. There was the Batman game for the SNES was fantastic and so much better than the Genesis one.
Turns or
No,
Adventures
there's
of Batman and Robin?
Yeah, that one is amazing. I love that's one of my favorite games. I don't know if I had that on the list or just thought because I know one of the Arkham games is on there. Yeah. And so maybe it would have been redundant.
No, you need to play it. It's not that hard to get into.
I'll be the jobber.
All right, so hit.
Here, I'll hold it for you.
All right. You got sound? I think he's first player. Press
Yeah.
start to join.
All right, so you get to choose which. So you have the choice of whichever stronghold you want.
I'll
you
just
have to
do the one on the
defend that.
peninsula to get destroyed on 3 sides.
All right, so that's you've got your now you
I
get
like
to.
that you're more Florida than I am.
All right, so place your cannons, move your joystick around, and choose where you want to put your cannons. You can only put them in the checker spots. Yeah,
Black
like
or
the black and red.
You
You have.
I'm
okay,
dead.
You're dead.
So what do I hit to fire here?
So yeah, there you go.
You hit the A button, and
Well,
then
your
you hit
goal
the
is to
fire
go
at the
ahead.
different,
Now there's a delay on shooting the cannonballs because they're cannonballs.
Right.
and you only have 2.
Oh, yeah.
far.
You get more cannons.
Right. I need more.
More.
Build and repair. So how do I
Isn't
repair?
this fun?
Okay, so you get Tetris
This
pieces.
is awesome.
And you can rotate those Tetris pieces and go ahead and rebuild.
You rotate with the B button.
Like you do. You seen the Tetris documentary yet?
No.
Oh.
Is
Good
it all
stuff.
about the guy getting taken advantage of?
No, it's they're actually like nice to each other, so it might not be so dramatic.
Oh, dude. You're one spot, otherwise you lose. And you lose.
Ah.
You have no castle.
There's not a Russian guy just going, fuck you, Tenjin.
Oh, it actually gave it to you. Okay. That's cool. All right, so you need to place cannons. You've got 2 that you can place.
See, and you build the castles.
You can build out. I don't have to like stay within my.
Right. You can
I can,
actually
I can
take
expand into the
other
panhandle of
castles.
Florida.
Yes. You can take the other castles too. Oh, I see this shit.
You getting sound? Okay, whatever's.
Jesus, Mike.
What?
So your
No, I'm-
goal
I'm-
is to all right, yeah, Chris, you're boned.
I don't mind.
I mean, you beat me at Japanese names.
That's all that matters as long as you can't go into the water.
Do you love me now, Father? That's something I always said when I played this. He'd always beat me. He was really great at this.
It's so
Start to continue with
much
more firepower.
fun.
And so the more castles you build, the more cannons you get to have.
Yep.
Place cannons.
And your goal really is to you want to go after the walls. Because then they have to waste their time to,
So when does the game end? When you take over the other person's side, or?
or when the other person doesn't
There's
have
only
anything
just
left.
a set amount of rounds, and whoever has the most points at their battle. I'm also just blowing up your cannons.
Oh, that too. Ceasefire!
Holy shit.
We built this castle on Round Road.
This is the right city for it, I suppose.
No, it's not.
Oh, fine.
Okay, there we go.
What the hell kind of Tetris piece is that?
You're not telling me this isn't better than Tetris?
Okay.
It's so much better than Tetris.
Versus? Yeah, I can see that.
He might get 12.25.
We'll finish this out, and we'll be done. Thank you so much for kicking my ass. I really appreciate it. Oh, god damn it. I didn't put my cannons down.
You need to give it a try next time. Like you need to actually, because this is so much fun. You need to play
Look at
with
that.
Delia.
Oh, man.
I just Chris Browned you.
You're super brown. You're super pan of stealing my castle. Oh, my God. A tornado went through there, and you didn't stop it.
Yeah, it's like Oklahoma, but I care even less. And by that I mean the musical. The people. I love you guys. You're heroes. If I raped you any harder, Tori Amos would write a song about it.
Oh, is that it? I'm dead. I'm dead. I think
Yeah.
you're the champion.
Aww.
Yeah, we have some gifts for you for taking the time to do this for
Oh,
us.
nice. This is really cute.
Thank you.
And it's in the design of the original and not the second one.
Not the second.
Why? So what happened with the sequel there?
I don't
Why
know.
was it
Due
so
to, like,
bad?
development time? Or
No, I
company?
think that I don't.
Were they rushed?
No, because it came out like 3 years later. It was. They didn't even. Oh, yeah. Just go ahead and finish the job. Pin me, pay me. Al Snow's from here, so that makes sense.
It does make sense.
Am I dead? Have I been annihilated?
But your castle actually looks like Cleveland now. Oh, look, there's Drew Carey
There he is.
making a
Come on down.
painfully mediocre sitcom. No. I was watching The Price is Right before this because we're going to visit my girlfriend's grandpa today, and he's like really awesome. He's like 92 and still with it and stuff. And I was like, it made me think of always visiting my grandma, and we would just watch The Price is Right all the time.
Oh, hell
Oh,
yeah.
that's totally what you do when you were off sick. Do you think it still holds up? Like it did, if you were like an
No, it's not
11-year-old,
the
would you
same.
watch it?
No, it's not the same.
Well, I guess if I didn't have a choice, it's 700 Club or Price is Right, I'd watch Price is Right.
But
It's still fun.
yeah, it's a fun game, right?
Yeah, awesome.
this
I
is
need to
awesome.
practice and
Yeah.
get better for when
Oh,
we
you'll
never
beat
meet
me the
again.
next time.
No,
Yeah.
This needs to be a
then-
hexadecathlon game.
I go out at night and you collect video games. I think
Yeah,
we know how this is going to end.
I got a 4-year-old though, so I don't get to play much these
Yeah.
days.
What
She'll-
games does she play?
She plays a Sega Pico, so it's like one of that 90s system where it's all
Frog Bog?
educational games. And like Frog Bog, like any
You're
game.
already setting her up for failure when she's like, "You kids don't play the Sega Pico." You're already giving her experiences that no other kid is going to have.
Oh, I know. She can totally
You
kick. She
couldn't,
can
you
totally
couldn't get
beat
her a
Mickey the Mouse.
3DS or something?
I gave her a Game Boy Advance, but
GBA.
any game
Even that. What the fuck are you doing?
I don't know.
You give her a Nomad?
Back in my day,
She's going to be like a 5-year-old with the other 5-year-olds. You other kids don't have gumption. I had to find batteries all the time. No moxie.
she any game that like requires like a challenge or doing anything she doesn't like. That she's still like as soon as she's defeated she gets pissed. So I can't even put like a Mario or something modern in front
I
of
think
her.
she beat me at Frog Bog, though.
Frog Bog just requires him to
Usually people who get pissed at the idea of defeat just go on to be good at video games.
Yeah, I think
True.
Maybe we'll see. Hopefully, maybe or maybe she finds a more worthwhile hobby than this shit.
Yeah, probably.
She knows how to read at 4, so I mean I guess there's that.
If raising her on a Sega Pico is why she grows up to resent you, that's not bad. I mean, she's going to anyway.
I'm still home, right?
Yeah. All right. Why didn't I get a good education? Oh, because you had to buy CNC Music Factory.
Yep.
Sorry, no college for you. I have a Nomad. But I hope you have a kid one day. I know you talk about it sometimes, but you'll be a good dad.
I think so.
And definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I thought we're hitting 12:30.
We're hitting 12:30,
so I'm gonna hold you up later. Do you, I know you got the new CD out.
Yeah, Sadamantium.
That's such a great name.
Oh, thanks.
And then you signed a copy for us last night that we're gonna to give away to someone on the Facebook site.
Oh, nice.
And then
I thought you said Faithbook for in the Bible. The Faithbook.
That's
the book you build faith on.
ChristianMingle.com.
Yeah.
Ah, good stuff.
ChristianMingle.com. When
play
all
those-
you want to do is anal.
You ever get stuck with those Bible games?
I don't know why, like guys with butt fetishes just don't go on Christian Mingle. It's just girls who can only fuck in the ass.
That's I never tried it.
Yeah.
We use AOL Instant Your Mime Time,
Yeah.
not as Match.com shit. Can we get snarky about the internet yet? Is that
I think we can.
yeah?
We can talk about anything.
Can we be old
We
snarky?
built this GeoCity.
It's
We built this GeoCity on AOL.
We're gonna get sued now. That's parody, right?
That's parody.
Yeah, okay, just making sure. We have that for you too. It's in a nice mangled up bag because we had to
Oh,
carry it
let's
7
see.
blocks around here. Another T-shirt that you don't have to wear.
Oh, nice.
But we'll put up your Twitter links and stuff on our website. And we done?
Oh, thanks so much, man.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Thanks for coming down and sacrificing your girlfriend's grandpa's time.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have a lot of it left.
Yeah, I
so
know.
You should be very grateful.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Now you're playing with podcast.
All right. Another big thank you to Mike Lawrence for carving out the time to sit down and talk with us and play Rampart with us. Just like I mentioned in the beginning, his new CD, Sadamantium, is out. You can pick it up from Amazon.com, iTunes, Google Play Store, whatever your flavor of digital download services. It's pretty much everywhere. You can also pick up physical copies from his shows. You can also follow him on Twitter at the Mike Lawrence. And I think that is about it. Another thanks to the folks at the Hyatt for not kicking us out or escorting us out of the building with security. That's always nice, too. So, again, we're going to be giving a signed copy of Sadamantium away. So, like the post about this episode on Facebook, and we'll pick a random person out of there, and you will win a free copy of it. So, until then, keep listening. We've got some more Wonderful 101 coming up soon, and thanks so much.
Now you're playing with podcast.
Hey listeners, this is Chris. There's new places to follow Now You're Playing with Podcast. You can subscribe to Now You're Playing with Podcast on iTunes or subscribe to our YouTube channel at BSG4000 to see our new videos. Of course, you could still follow us on Twitter at NYPW Tweets or Facebook at Now You're Playing with fan page. If you enjoy our shows, please leave us a comment, rate us, subscribe, the whole 9 yards. Pass the word to your friends or pick up a t-shirt at our screened page, NYPW Shop. We have lots of great new episodes coming, so stay tuned. And as always, thanks for listening.